Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
It's great to be here.
Today we're going way back in time
Way back.
to explore spiral dynamics, stage purple.
Yeah.
We're talking even before recorded history even started.
Before the pyramids.
Before the
No,
pyramids.
before agriculture.
Yeah, before agriculture.
Really early stuff.
So we're going to unpack how this stage shaped early humans and surprisingly how it still influences us even today.
Absolutely.
And to help us navigate this fascinating terrain, we have an expert here with us, ready to jump in.
Absolutely. It's amazing how understanding this stage can shed light on human behavior in the past and present all of it.
Okay, so for those just joining us, spiral dynamics is this model of how human thinking and cultures evolve over time. But it's not about saying that one stage is like better than another.
No.
It's more like recognizing all these different ways of seeing the world that have popped up.
Yeah.
As humans face new challenges.
Yeah, exactly. So stage purple, it's not tied to like a specific date.
Okay.
It's more about the mindset that emerged when humans were first struggling to survive.
Gotcha.
Imagine a world where your small tribe IS your entire world.
Oh, yeah.
And survival is super precarious.
Right.
You're totally dependent on the tribe for everything.
So it's like that feeling when your family comes together to help you move.
Yeah.
But it's like magnified 1,000 times.
1,000 times.
You're relying on each other for food, shelter, protection.
Sure, everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, and because the tribe is so small, you're just completely intertwined in everyone's lives.
Oh, wow.
So there's this incredibly strong bond and a feeling of belonging that is really hard to even grasp in our individualistic world.
I can imagine.
Yeah, this is one of the big hallmarks of stage purple.
So it's like that feeling of truly being seen and understood and knowing that you're a part of something much bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
But does this tribe is everything mentality also have like a downside?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Oh, wait.
This intense feeling of belonging comes with a sharp division between us and them.
Oh.
Anyone outside the tribe is seen as a potential threat.
Right.
And this can lead to some serious conflict between different groups.
It really makes you think, you know?
Yeah.
How would someone with this stage purple mindset deal with the complexities of our globalized world?
Right.
Imagine trying to explain, like, the internet to someone who thinks spirits live in trees.
Yeah.
That's a great point. That brings us to another key aspect of stage purple.
Okay.
Which is that their view of the world isn't based on logic and reason the way we think of it.
Not really.
It's the world full of magic and spirits.
Right.
So imagine believing that the success of your next hunt depends not only on your skill, but on whether or not you've appeased the animal spirits too.
Totally.
It's like every action, every decision carries this weight of potential mystical consequences.
Right. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about like that. Maybe all those little superstitions we still have today, like knocking on wood.
Yeah.
Or like avoiding black cats.
Totally.
Those are just faint echoes of that way of thinking.
It's the fascinating connection.
Right.
It's like these irrational beliefs we have now could actually be rooted in this time when the world really felt alive with unseen forces.
Yeah.
And, you know, this magical worldview wasn't just about making the world feel mystical. It also shaped how they understood knowledge and how it was passed down.
Okay.
Like in a stage purple tribe, the elders and the shamans, they weren't just respected. They were like the key to survival.
So kind of like how we rely on doctors and scientists today. We trust them because they have this specialized knowledge.
Right.
But back then, it was the shaman who knew which plants could heal and which could kill.
Exactly. Yeah. And because everyone's survival depended on passing down this knowledge accurately, stage purple cultures were super rooted in tradition. I see.
There's that saying, you make more speed with less haste.
Oh, I like that.
It really captures how they saw life.
Yeah.
Sticking to the tried and true methods was essential back then.
Right. Because
when innovation could mean, like, starvation for the whole tribe.
Right. You can't risk it.
No.
So change was seen as risky, even dangerous.
Absolutely.
I can see how that would clash with our modern obsession with progress.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And disruption.
Definitely. And that brings us to why stage purple is so relevant even today.
Yeah, why are we even talking about this?
Right. We may have moved on from hunting and gathering, right? But those basic needs for belonging, for security, for a sense of meaning that's deeper than just material stuff.
Right.
Those are still huge parts of being human.
That's so true. It makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Could it be that we're trying to recreate that tribal belonging in our modern world through things like online communities and fandoms and even social movements?
Yeah, that's a really insightful observation. Yeah.
And maybe by understanding Stage Purple, we can actually better understand those deep-seated needs within ourselves and figure out healthier and more fulfilling ways to meet those needs.
So you're saying there's a healthy way to do this and then and there's a not healthy way.
There's a shadow side.
Oh, the shadow side. Okay, well, stay tuned then. We'll be right back.
So before the break, we were just about to dive into that shadow side of Stage Purple.
Right, the potential dangers of that strong in-group feeling.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to get caught up in the romantic side of tribal life, you know?
It is.
Everyone's working together, living in harmony with nature.
It's appealing, no doubt.
Right.
But we have to keep in mind that harmony often exists because of the tribe's isolation.
Okay.
Limited resources.
Right.
Small, stable population. These things all contribute to keeping that equilibrium.
Makes sense. I mean, if everyone's related, you're a lot less likely to cheat each other.
Right.
The stakes are just too high. Exactly. And this brings up another interesting point. The relationship between Stage Purple and technology.
Okay.
It's not that these cultures weren't capable of technological innovation.
Right. They developed tools, mastered fire, created art.
Exactly. But their technology was always viewed through the lens of magic and spirits.
Right.
They didn't have that same scientific framework as us to understand cause and effect.
Okay, I see.
So let's say a hunt is successful. It's not just about skill and strategy. It's also about appeasing those animal spirits.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And without a scientific understanding, it makes it really hard to adapt to new challenges. Imagine a jumbo jet flying overhead.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of this marvel of engineering, they might see it as a god or a demon.
Right, it would be terrifying.
Right. And that perspective is definitely fascinating.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really help you grasp, let's say, germ theory to prevent disease.
Yeah, modern medicine would just not compute in a system of spirits and curses.
Nope. And this highlights the limitations of Stage Purple in our modern world.
Okay.
Globalization, technology, interconnected societies. Yeah. These things just don't work with a Stage Purple worldview.
Yeah, trying to run a global corporation like a small tribe just wouldn't work.
Exactly.
The rules of the game have changed.
They have, and it's not just about efficiency or progress, you know?
Okay.
When you have all these different Stage Purple cultures interacting, each one with their own traditions and that us versus them mentality, it's a breeding ground for conflict.
Yeah, you're just amplifying that shadow side on a global scale.
Exactly. And this is why we need Stage Red. This stage emphasizes individual ambition and a willingness to challenge old ways of thinking. This is crucial for human development.
So we need a little bit of that teenage rebellious energy to break free from the tribe and embrace new ways of thinking.
Exactly. But it's not about just getting rid of Stage Purple completely. Yeah. As we move through the spiral, the values from those earlier stages, they stick around.
Oh, interesting.
They still influence us in all these subtle ways.
So that need for belonging, for connection to something bigger than ourselves, that might be why so many people are drawn to those intentional communities, online fandoms, even social movements these days.
That's a great point. These things offer a taste of that Stage Purple belonging, being part of a tribe with shared values.
Like we're trying to recreate that community feeling in a world that can feel really isolating.
Yeah, exactly. And by understanding Stage Purple, we can be more aware of that and more effective in how we go about doing that.
Okay, so it's not about returning to a pre-industrial way of life.
Yeah.
It's about understanding our basic needs.
Exactly. It's this reminder that even with all of our progress and complex thinking, we're still tribal creatures at heart.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It is. And maybe this can even help us build a future that balances our individual needs with the responsibility to create a better world for everyone.
Okay, this is making me wonder, though. Could the answer to some of our biggest global problems actually be in moving beyond that us versus them thinking without losing those good things from Stage Purple?
Yeah.
That community and shared purpose.
It's a question worth exploring. Maybe the wisdom of our ancestors holds the key to creating a better future for all of us.
I love that. But to answer that question, we need to know what comes next.
Right.
So we've explored stage purple, the tribe, the magic, the sense of belonging, and all the challenges that come with it.
We have.
But how do we move from that to stage red?
Right.
Where individuality and ambition take center stage. Stay tuned because we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and ready to tackle the next big stage in the spiral dynamics model, stage red.
Here we go.
So we've spent a good amount of time in stage purple.
Yeah. Exploring
those tribal bonds, that reliance on tradition, and how that us versus them mentality could be both, a strength and a weakness. But how do we actually move from that to stage red, where individuality and ambition take center stage?
Well, it's less of a bridge and more like a complete transformation. Okay. Think of a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. Yep. Stage red kind of bursts onto the scene with that same adolescent energy.
Oh, okay.
That urge to break free from the rules, to test boundaries, and to figure out who they are as an individual.
So it's rebellious, a bit chaotic.
You could say that.
Are we talking like terrible twos, but on a societal scale?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very harmonious.
Stage red definitely disrupts the existing order.
Okay.
It's driven by this raw instinctual desire for power and dominance. And remember, this is still a pre-rational stage.
Right.
It's not about making long-term goals. It's about instant gratification, imposing your will on the world.
Oh, so more like, I want what I want and I want it now.
Exactly.
But how does that actually move us forward? It just seems like it would create chaos.
Well, that's a valid point.
Yeah.
While stage red can definitely be destructive,
right,
it's also a super important step in breaking free from stage purple.
Oh, okay.
If we didn't have that push for individual expression, we'd be stuck forever,
Oh, like chained to the tribe.
Yeah. Bound by the rules and traditions of the tribe.
Even if those rules aren't working anymore.
Exactly.
So to grow, we need to step outside of what's familiar.
You got it.
Even if it feels safe and comfortable.
Even if it's scary. Stage red is about forging your own path, going against the grain.
I see.
This is where we see those classic hero types pop up.
Oh, okay.
The warrior who defies convention.
Right.
The rebel who challenges authority.
So like Achilles or Gilgamesh, those guys.
Yeah. They embodied that stage red energy.
They were like the original self-made individuals.
Totally.
Even if their, path to greatness involved a lot of conquest.
A lot of conquest.
And feats of strength and things like that.
Yeah.
So are you saying that stage red, with all its ambition, actually laid the groundwork for things like innovation and progress?
Exactly. While those early expressions of stage red,
right,
like warfare and slavery and exploitation.
Yeah, those don't sound so good.
No, they're awful. But it's important to remember that this stage was crucial to our evolution.
Okay.
It's where the seeds of innovation, of entrepreneurship, even art were sown.
So it's not enough to just belong.
Nope.
We need to become individuals.
You got it.
Even if that means making mistakes along the way.
Absolutely. It's about understanding all these different forces within us.
Yeah.
The need to belong, but also the drive to be an individual.
Right.
The power of tradition, but the need for innovation.
So each stage has its good and bad.
It does. And the key to growing is finding a way to integrate those seemingly opposing forces.
But how do we actually do that?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
We can't just, go back to living in tribes.
All right, that's not really an option.
But by understanding the deeper needs that stage purple reflects, that longing for belonging, for meaning, for purpose, we can find new ways to create those experiences in our modern world.
So it's about using technology and progress to connect us, not to isolate us.
Exactly. That's the challenge and the opportunity to take the best of each stage and build something new.
I love that. To move beyond just surviving to thriving.
That's it.
That's a powerful thought to end on. It gives us a lot to think about. So listeners, here's your homework. Where do you see echoes of stage purple in your own life?
Yeah. Think about that.
And how can you use that knowledge to create a more meaningful future for yourself and the world around you?
It's a journey worth taking.
It is. And it's something we'll keep exploring in future deep dives.
Absolutely.
So until next time, keep asking those questions, keep diving deep, and keep learning.
Keep learning.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating journeys through spiral dynamics. This is just the beginning.